"Please don't lift my skirt," she begged, her voice trembling, her eyes filled with both fear and shame. The single dad froze, his hands shaking as he realized what he had just uncovered wasn't what he expected at all. That single moment didn't just change how he saw her, it changed his entire life. Viewers, listen carefully, because this is not the story you think it is. What he discovered beneath that skirt was not about shame, it was about survival, strength, and a truth that would shatter him to his core. Rayan was a single dad raising his little daughter, Noor, after losing his wife in a tragic accident 2 years ago. Life had not been kind to him, between managing his job, paying bills, and trying to be both mother and father to Noor. His days were heavy. He had lost his laughter, his warmth, and in many ways, even his hope. One rainy evening, Rayan walked into a small cafe near the school to pick up Noor after her extracurricular classes. That's when he saw her, the new girl sitting alone by the corner, her uniform soaked from the rain. She kept her eyes down, avoiding everyone, but the bruises on her hands were hard to miss. The other students whispered and snickered, some mocking her clothes, some pointing fingers. Rayan wasn't the type to get involved in other people's problems, but something about her struck him. She looked about Noor's age, maybe a little older, yet her face carried a heaviness no child should ever bear. When Noor joined him, she noticed the lonely girl too. "Baba, why is no one sitting with her?" Noor whispered. Rayan gave no answer, but later that night, he couldn't shake the image of the girl's fearful eyes. The next day, fate crossed their paths again. Noor accidentally bumped into the same girl at school, dropping her books. As Rayan bent to help, the girl panicked and tried to hide herself, clutching at her skirt as if protecting something. That's when she whispered those words, her voice breaking, "Please, don't lift my skirt." Rayan froze, confused and worried. He didn't move closer, but the fear in her tone pierced through him like a knife. Something was wrong, something much deeper than he could see. And though he didn't know it yet, his decision in that moment would change not only her life, but his own as well. Rayan didn't tell anyone about the incident at first, but he couldn't ignore his instincts. He reached out to the girl gently in the following days, always keeping Noor close so she'd feel safe. Slowly, bit by bit, she began to trust him. Her name was Aisha. One afternoon, Noor invited her over for tea. While they sat together, Rayan noticed Aisha struggling to sit comfortably, wincing every time she shifted. Finally, when Noor left the room, he asked softly, "Aisha, you don't have to tell me anything, but if someone is hurting you, I want you to know you're not alone." Tears welled up in her eyes. She shook her head, whispering, "No one would believe me, they'll just call me dirty like everyone else." And then the truth spilled out. Aisha revealed that she had been hiding scars, deep wounds not only on her skin, but in her soul. She lived with an abusive stepfather who treated her worse than an enemy. The reason she begged him not to lift her skirt was because beneath it were marks, bruises and cuts she desperately tried to hide from the world. Rayan's heart shattered. He realized the whispers, the bullying, the loneliness, all of it was because Aisha was carrying a burden no child should ever carry. And in that moment, he made a silent promise. He wouldn't turn away. He wouldn't let her fight this battle alone. What followed was not easy. Rayan had to fight against the school's ignorance, against a system that wanted to brush things under the rug, and even against his own fears of getting involved. But with Noor's innocent friendship and his own determination as a father, he helped Aisha find her voice again. By the end, the girl who once begged in shame found the courage to stand tall. And the single dad, who thought his life had ended with his wife's death, discovered a new purpose, to protect not just his own daughter, but every child who needed someone to believe in them. The story leaves the audience with a powerful message. Sometimes, what we fear to uncover is not shame, but a truth that needs love, courage, and compassion to heal.